Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, with the rise of games like Skullgirls and those other 3 that were announced for EVO, you might be interested in jumping into something a bit new, but you don't really know where to start. You might be intimidated with all these new mechanics and these characters and these crazy combos, and you don't know what's going on, and it all just seems too overwhelming. Well, hopefully this video will help push you in the right direction and bring you from a total beginner, knowing nothing about anything, to pretty decent, pretty good. Not like a pro or nothing, but hey, Rome wasn't built in a day and neither will you. So let's just jump into it. Now the first step is pretty obvious. Find your character. Your reasons for picking that character is all on you. Whether you find them cool, whether you saw them in a combo video, whether they're your waifu. Look, we don't judge, just pick one. Now that you've found your character, it's time to jump into training mode. Your first time in training mode is gonna seem pretty daunting. They have a bunch of buttons, they got a bunch of stuff, they got maybe like a unique trait, who knows? It's all weird, it's all scary. But you are going to ignore all of that. You're going to be practicing 4 things and 4 things only. This is going to be your mid-screen combo, your corner combo, your grab combo, if applicable, and your anti-air combo, if applicable. Just practice those 4. Get them down to that you can do it about 70% of the time consistent, right? Not looking for perfection. Don't worry about game mechanics. Don't worry about optimizing. Just learn those 4. Now this is the part a lot of you people don't want to hear. But it's time to lose. The faster you get your feet wet into what the game is actually about, the faster you're going to learn it. So, jump into a lobby, casual match, whatever, matchmaking method you prefer, and start losing. My suggestion is to play about 3 to 5 games. All you're trying to accomplish here is to learn the game's pacing. See how it feels in your hands. You're also going to want to practice your combos that you just learned. You're gonna drop them, but that's okay. Big disclaimer, you're going to lose. Get used to it and get over it. It's part of life, it'll help you get better. You won't lose forever. But this is the starting line, you are a noob. You don't really know how to play the game. That's life. Now that you've gotten your cheeks pushed in, it's time to go back to training mode. So at this point, things are a bit more clear, not really, but sort of. The cogs are turning a little bit. They're getting a bit unrusted. So now is the time to really start learning your character. Understand what your buttons do. Understand what buttons are safe, what is unsafe, what is your anti-airs, if you have a DP or an invincible reversal, etc., etc. This is also the time to learn your main combo route. In a good chunk of fighting games and fighting game characters, most of your combos, whether that be throw combos, etc., etc., stem from a specific combo route. So it is important to at least get an understanding as to what that is so that you can then expand upon it later down the line. Don't worry yourself too much about minor optimizations, character specific, yada yada yada. Just learn something basic that you can do. A good rule of thumb is that a stable combo route should be able to be executed in high stakes scenarios and should be able to combo into super. This is also the time to begin learning your basic pressure and some basic mix-ups. Okay, now that you have a good understanding of your character, it's time to grind. So at this point, you've probably looked up a few combo videos, you probably looked up a couple of matches. Well, time to put it into practice. Back to my earlier disclaimer, you are most likely going to lose most of these games, but that is okay. At this point, I suggest playing about 50 to 100 matches. What this does is that it solidifies what you practiced in training mode through repetition. It's up to you whether you want to play all these matches straight through or take them in smaller chunks. My personal suggestion is that after every 10 to 15, maybe 20 games, you just jump back into training mode and just practice some of the things that you had some troubles with. This can be anything from you dropped a combo you want to practice again, maybe you're struggling anti-airing this guy so you want to practice that, maybe you messed up a mix-up, whatever. just spend like 10 to 15 minutes in training mode in between those matches to just solidify the things that you are messing up on. Okay, now you're 100 games in, you kind of know what you're doing, things are a bit more clear, you're not really dropping your combos like you used to, you hit someone with a sick mix-up in between, you're looking pretty good. So, remember that thing I said to ignore earlier? Them there system mechanics? Well, I got some news for you. At this point, it is important to establish your goals. What are you trying to accomplish? Do you just want to get better at the game? Do you want to eventually compete? Do you just want to beat all the friends in your block? This is important to what I'm about to say next. Now, if you are content with where you're at, you know basic combos, and you know you can learn a few more. Matchups are a bit weird, system mechanics are a bit questionable, but you're having fun. If that's where you're at, then you can stop the video right here. You're having fun, and that's all that matters. However, for those of you tryhards that are looking to compete, or just be the best that they possibly can be, the rest of this video is for you. So, for those of you who stuck around to this part of the video, this is where I will teach you to graduate from a basic casual to a filthy tryhard that none of your friends want to play. Your first step down this long and perilous journey is to find your game's website. A good example of this would be dustloop.com or the Skullgirls fandom page. Basically, a place that compiles a bunch of the nitty-gritty stuff such as frame data and system mechanics. This is going to be your friend. Now's the time where you're going to dive deeper into the real nitty-gritty of the game. If you don't know what frame data is at this point, look it up, you're going to need it. I suggest going through all the individual characters that either you main or that give you problems, including things like the system mechanics, right? Learning things that you might not have otherwise known. Join a Discord channel. Now this part is more so optional, but definitely recommended. Find a channel with your specific character. The best part about Discord channels is that the community comes together and uploads tech. You can discuss things like matchups and how to deal with a certain situation. Basically, you just ask any question that you have about your character. Making friends along the way is also definitely a plus. It would also be a good idea to join other characters' Discord servers. The reason being is that, say you struggle with a particular matchup. Well, you can go into that Discord server where you know they play that character and ask for some games. My final suggestion, and this is more mandatory than recommended, is to find a senpai. What I mean is, look online for players, particularly Japanese or Korean or any super high level player who plays your character and watch their videos. Look at the combos that they use, the decisions that they make. Basically, you're just going to be copying what they do. Try to think about the decisions that they make and the combos that they go for and why they went for those. I suggest trying to find multiple different players to really study off of because, you know, some people are more creative than others, some are more neutral based than others, some have really good mix-ups, who knows? But definitely watch videos. Watch. As we come to a close, the most important thing is that you must find how you like to train. Maybe you only like to sit in training mode for 15 minutes. Maybe you like to be in there for 10 hours. Maybe you're the kind of player who just grinds out matches and figures it out as you go along. Whatever style of training you like to do that if that's what's most fun to you. Because at the end of the day, it's all about playing the game. And if you're not enjoying training, then you're just not going to play the game. However, it is also important to challenge yourself. Bring yourself out of your comfort zone. Do some things that are uncomfortable to you. Maybe one day a week or one day every 2 weeks, you're like, I'm just going to sit in training mode and learn a particular skill or a particular matchup, something that is otherwise boring to you and that you wouldn't want to do. It's all about moderation, because if you neglect one aspect over the other, then you're going to be an unbalanced player. If you sit in training mode for too long, then you're not going to know what a real fight looks like. If you just grind matches for too long, then you're not going to refine some of the skills that you otherwise would have in a controlled environment. And with that all being said, look at you! You passed. With all these steps, you are ready to take on the world. At this point, it's all up to you to try to find a balance between how to train effectively and just enjoying the game. Use all these steps to really get your foot in the door and try to be the best player that you can. And remember, it's just a game, so have fun playing it. At the end of the day, don't let anyone tell you how you should be enjoying yourself playing the game that you spent money on. With all that being said, I hope you enjoyed this video. Please consider dropping a like and subscribing to the channel, as it definitely helps out. If you have any friends that you know struggling to get into a game that either you like or they want to try out, then just share this video with them. Please consider checking out my other videos. I play a variety of characters on this channel that I definitely put some time and hard work into. The goal is to provide entertainment and also education to those who would want to play said character. And with that all being said, hope you stay safe, stay sanitized, and I will catch y'all in the next one. Peace.